Hello, everyone. Early December. In this presentation, I will speak about Pluto in Aquarius. Of course, we have thousands, if not millions, of videos on the subject on the internet. I still believe that my take on things is different, encompasses more layers of the system. I have been shouting, screaming to the community about the need of ending out duality. This is our opportunity. The view that human beings still have about the system, about religions, communication with the cosmos, is still based on the feeling of duality. Okay, let's go for it. One of the internet trends in terms of the significance of Pluto in Aquarius is what is the new human and how will we embrace it? Well, will the new human being be a hybrid between the present human being and the computer? With chips in the brain, chips in the limbs to facilitate data access and quick payments? Or are we going to open our DNA as encrypted since 1996 by the beings that you cannot communicate with? Encrypted, the new DNA was brought down between 1996 in steps regularly and downloaded on this planet. It is for you to access it. Okay. Will the new human be a hybrid? Or shall the upgraded human be more aware and integrated, means in love with, loved by? Will the new human be integrated in the multidimensional universe in which consciousness and love are the two main components? Shall the new human be aware of and consciously connected to what we still call alien civilization, or simply understand its belonging to the Milky Way, to the fabric of all that is, of life as manifested in the Milky Way? What human beings must heal is not just the sense of being victimized, the need to find freedom. What mankind needs to heal is the tear, the rip in our collective consciousness between the third dimension and higher realms, as induced by the fall into oblivion and the veil of the astral imposed by the low aspect of Neptune, as well as the obligation of meeting the darkest aspect of Venus. Most humans have tremendously suffered and harnessed character or disengagement from the divine. To stop feeling or to free themselves from the pain, from the unanswered questions. What we might consider is adaptation through a new vocabulary. The words God, creator, divinity, spiritual have been distorted by the false images that were thrown into human consciousness for centuries. May we, this is my prayer, may we in the next 20 years receive enough answers, coherent, clear, and heal our divided psyches and hearts. The word God, inherited from the Latin deus, is derived from an Indo-European root, deus, divinity, from the base dei, meaning glow, to shine, the shining. There, you have it. The simple glow, light, information, data, code. Now, deus is also two, deux in French. The light, when entering the process of self-replication, becomes two, you and I and you. We create as one. The feeling of separation, origin of all dramas, is what needs to be healed. The sign of Aquarius, the frequency of Aquarius, means we are whole. And unless we understand with Uranus, I mind, unless we change with Pluto, we call upon us the power of Uranus to shatter what is obsolete. I think I need to repeat that. The feeling of separation, origin of all drama, is what needs to heal. The sign or the frequency of Aquarius, meaning we are whole, and unless Aquarius means we are whole, and unless we understand with Uranus, unless we change with Pluto, we call upon us the power of Uranus to break down, to shatter what is obsolete. You are children of the light. You are packages of data. You just need to collect, to store as much light as possible within you and lift your frequency. Then reflect the light, or be a reflection of the divine. Another way to look at it, because of the fractal nature of the universe, the only thing that humans need to do is to remember who they truly are, a part of the universe, light, encoded with higher frequencies. That means that all the data contained in the universe also exist within you. You just have to open and remember. Now, the context, Pluto in Aquarius, all kinds of things are happening in 2025. We need to be ready for the ride. Neptune spends 14 years in a sign. We are going to speak about the heavy-duty planets. Neptune, 40 years in a sign, moves to Aries in April. Saturn enters Aries in May. Uranus, 8 years in a sign, enters Gemini in July. So everything changes. At the end of July, Uranus and Pluto will be at the closest orb forming a 120-degree angle, a trine. Good. Collaboration. At the same time, Saturn conjunct Neptune at about 2 degrees Aries are exactly between them. This chart, this triangle in itself is a whole story. Jupiter, 12 years in a sign, enters the sign of Cancer. Home, mother's love, comfort. The lunar nodes, so they are called axes. The axis of the lunar nodes, our collective compass for about 18 months, move to Pisces Virgo, with the North Node in Pisces in January 2025. We need to embrace the new. Details on my website with a few charts. The website is archangel-michael.us. This is a quote. Pluto and Aquarius represent the symbolic meeting and clash of two planetary energies, Pluto and Uranus. Pluto embodies internal, implosive, and transformative energy, while Uranus is characterized by its electric and sometimes destructive nature, particularly when it creates a divide between a before and an after. Uranus is also associated with technology, and in this context, it represents practicality. The most functional, fast, and productive response is considered the right one under Uranus's influence. End of quote. Aquarius is futuristic, idealistic, prone to embrace technology. At the higher octave, it is the frequency of a developed mind, a mind capable of understanding abstract concepts and dedicated to serving the community. It is no more the rebel looking for freedom. It is the integrated soul at service, having understood why it should serve. Interestingly, the sign of Aquarius is ruled by two very different frequencies, Uranus and Saturn. As for Pluto, it extracts, then burns everything happening deep down within your consciousness, personal and collective. Everything organic, yet hidden, still a little dark, that needs to be transmuted, morphed by the power of light, by awareness and then organization. In alchemy, Pluto is connected to sulfur, associated with fire, purification through combustion. Pluto, what was called the god Pluto, or the archetype, rules the underworld, where death connects with life. In mythology, Uranus is Pluto's grandfather. Uranus is the sky, heaven, and was castrated by his son, Saturn. The original Saturn is Chronos, time. The imposition of limits of time shattered the connection with Uranus. Yet creation has happened. Then Saturn is removed from power by his own sons, Pluto being one of them. So when Pluto visits Aquarius, ruled by Uranus, grandfather sky, he visits his grandfather. Pluto is back to the family home. This is an attempt, unfortunately, the capacity of reconciliation. In 2025 and throughout the year, there is collaboration between heaven and the underworld, as suggested by the triangle formed by Pluto, Uranus, and Saturn. Uranus will bring clarity and the energy to break any unnecessary patterns or habits, still obstructing the growth of the soul as brought to the surface by Pluto. Ordained to Earth, Pluto will impact your societal structures, the way you relate with your community, and how you use technology. As for Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, it is firmly sitting on the ground, in the sign of Taurus, holding the field in which things manifest in physical reality. Now, a few dates, history, and some fun. Well, I find it fun. Pluto makes a full circle around the zodiac in about 248 years. It stations roughly 20 years in a sign. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was between 1778 and 1798. The US had just signed the Declaration of Independence. Intense debates happened in 1776 at the end of the passage of Pluto in Capricorn, which is perfectly logical. The founding fathers created a pyramid of power and structures of the US still consistent with time and necessities 250 years ago. The French Revolution hit in 1789. Marie Antoinette and Louis XVI were executed in 1793. This is and was much more than just the end of the monarchy. There was a breakdown of the structures between heaven and earth. This is explained in my book, The Love Story, Cosmic Love. 1793, Napoleon's performance at the siege of Toulon prepared his way to power. He seized power just after the end of Pluto in Aquarius, 1799. His challenging Egyptian campaign aimed officially at cutting English access to India. He was in Egypt between 1798 and 1801. Most importantly, the Egyptian campaign started a huge trend towards Egyptology and spirituality. The French scientists, researchers who participate in the Egypt campaign came back, among other things, with a 23-volume encyclopedia. Details on the website. On the way to Egypt, the French army seized Malta, taking power over the Knights of St. John. Another step in the occult war power. Back to the US. Capricorn being also at the hidden level. connected to the path of initiation through mystery schools. This was also congruent logic with the fact that most of the founding fathers belonged to Freemasonry, or at least some kind of a minor mystic order. Aquarius brought the idea, the concept of the establishment of the people, we the people. However, time was not ripe yet for the new paradigm and the new human. According to the precession of the equinox, mankind was still in the descending curve, and the old lodges, the mystery schools, the old structures were still in charge. The mysteries were created thousands of years ago to teach humans how to communicate with the spirit world and do their part in the cosmic symphony. All parts, the fabric of the universe, are loaded with life and data, yet not accessible through the human basic 5 senses. Communication with aliens, for instance, is still very rare. The mystery schools taught the language of the metaphor, the language of symbols and magic. The message was, look beyond, admire the extraordinary universe, and attune your life and brain to its mechanisms. You are part of it. You are it. You are its mirror. The famous principle, as above, so below, describes the fractal nature and oneness of life. Rituals used magic, symbols, and numbers, sacred geometry, to enter the multidimensional labyrinth. Another message is given to us with Chiron in Aries, still facing Lilith in Libra. Humankind is invited to change communication, the method of communication with the outer world. Let's explain. When the soul enters the process of individualization, Aries. Chiron is in Aries. The soul starts making choices, left, right, up, down, this is free will. Thousands of years later, the wound of the soul, Chiron, the soul has tried to emancipate itself, Lilith, to experience itself far from the whole, can heal through the understanding of unity, Aquarius. Each soul is unique, Aries, yet a part of the body of humanity and of the cosmos. This is what the Aquarian frequency raises up, the feeling of universal consciousness. I will repeat. Chiron is the wound, Aries is the coming into incarnation, Lilith and Lucifer are the virus, the rebellion. When the soul enters the process of individualization in Aries, it starts making choices. Thousands of years later, the wounds of the soul trying to emancipate itself with Lilith can heal through the understanding of unity. Each soul is unique, yet a part of the body of humanity and of the body of the cosmos. This is what the Aquarius frequency raises up. The feeling and vibration of universal consciousness. One of the trends on the internet is the concept that humans must exit their state of victimhood to find freedom with Uranus. Yes, stop being a victim, but stop being a victim of the illusion of duality and the illusion of separation. Stop being a victim of the system of the organized churches. But you are not a victim of God or of the creators. No intelligent being can negate the formidable beauty and rigorous cosmic laws. All this originated and moves within the consciousness, the heart of a being, whatever you want to call it. Just heard someone on the internet calling it the final father. Why final? The origin, not the final, the origin of all. Is this just a remake of Our Father who art in heaven? I could not replace the joke. Just realize that this being wants to communicate with you and can only do it if you stop acting out like Lilith or Lucifer. I am better than you are. I can do it by myself. Just work on emerging love. This is what Pluto is going to assist in. Purging the last false concepts with Uranus, the higher mind, and anchor the ideas with Saturn and the bull, Uranus in Taurus. Okay, another way to look at communication with the divine. Today, I discovered a new word. Well, it takes me time sometimes to realize what's going on around. This is a quote. America is experiencing the fastest religious shift in human history. De-churching. A de-churcher is someone who attended at least one Christian service a month and is now down to visiting a church once a year. Well, this happened in France and in Europe a long time ago. And who replaced the priests and Jesus? Well, at this point, politicians. I understand. No second coming, no miracles. Well, no miracles that you can see. Nothing to rally the troop in 3D. A few decades ago, America created an enemy, the communists. Then we were offered Islam, fanaticism, and then nothing. Hollywood is fading. What we have left is money, fame, the number of followers, and politicians. No God, no explanation, no hope, only deception. Is it time to fully embrace the negation of God, of a deity, or to just reframe your beliefs about the nature of the spiritual world or this spiritual world, your beliefs about the gods, or even the meaning of the word spiritual? It is time to let go of childish and blind beliefs about the Word of God. Very obviously, all the religious books, literature, all these texts from the East, the West, the Middle East, that were acceptable centuries ago, do not fit with our modern awareness and knowledge. Besides, behind the high walls of NASA or the Vatican, there is no ongoing communication with ETs because we have a technical issue. The worlds are separated according to their frequency. So we repeat what we said earlier. God is the light. It is simple. Light, information. Take more data, more knowledge. Data, code. Then download more light in your physical body. Visualize it. Go in front of the sun. Expose yourself to the light. Bring your solar self in, your light body, your higher self. And your eyes and heart will open to the other parts of the universe. Now, a little more about history. And because I think it is important to look at the big picture and to stop dual consciousness and dual understanding. We need to stop duality. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was between 1778 and 1798. Well, look what happened also at this time. Let's look at the onset of the control organized by the Illuminati under the guise of Adam Weishaupt and Cagliostro. I'm going to repeat for those who are not aware of those names. Two important characters. One was Adam Weishaupt, the other one was Cagliostro. Okay, US independence, 1776. Cagliostro was in London. All this, by the way, is detailed in my last book, Who is Your Creator God? Last section, the solar system. Cagliostro was the link between Adam Weishaupt, who conceptualized the system of the Illuminati. Cagliostro introduced the idea in all the lodges that he visited in Europe. Weishaupt founded the Illuminati in 1776. Both were initiated as Freemasons. Details in the website. Then Cagliostro started to visit a number of lodges in Europe. He also founded his own order. That is kind of duplicated in the modern day with the Martinist order. The Martinist order being the connection between Freemasonry, the 33rd degree of Freemasonry, and the Illuminati. Cagliostro traveled extensively, inventing himself according to his needs, playing all kinds of characters, extraordinary and colorful, hesitating between being a swindler, a spiritual master, pimp, and a benefactor. This is a quote from his history, the book from Stonebridge. It is generally assumed that Cagliostro had met Adam Weishaupt in Ingolstadt, who was also an Illuminati, although he withdrew when he had succeeded in turning his connection with them to the account of his own order, the Egyptian Masonry. In other words, Cagliostro was instrumental in infiltrating the Egyptian Masonry. End of quote. The affair of the diamond necklace, anything that is a little weird in human history, is connected to the occult history of the planet and the lodges. The affair of the diamond necklace, Marie Antoinette's necklace, landed Cagliostro in jail. So, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was the time during which the pyramid of power, under the responsibility of the lodges and the Illuminati, was set into motion. Pluto in Aquarius can be tricky. And we need to think. When Pluto entered Aquarius, it activated. So, okay, I will go backward a little bit. The pyramid of power was installed when Pluto was in Capricorn. Then Pluto entered Aquarius and activated the dissemination of control of we the people by the Illuminati. The grip of power with a virus, maybe a necessary virus, was at its core and was set. The first Masonic lodges in the US were established between 1717 in Ohio and 1733. I'm not sure the dates. Adam Weishaupt said that he wanted to educate and emancipate his fellow human beings from the grip of the church. Yet, he created a stronger control system. Well, what exactly is happening now with technology, surveillance, phones, and AI? Isn't it worse than the Illuminati? Now, the lodges are no more in power. But observe that although the Masonic system is decried as horrific, what was offered 300 years ago was also based on local community, local network, local chapters. But it was a secret. What is the difference with what people say on the internet? The age of Aquarius brings a more community-based society. So what is the difference? No hierarchy, no government? Let's look at it differently. What we need to achieve as a collective with Uranus the sign of Aquarius being ruled by Saturn and Uranus. We need to develop enough heart, mind, intelligence. The heart and the mind together. The heart is where love, from which the heart, love emanates from the heart, from the center, from the merging. All creation originates from a heart mind. as symbolized by the archetype, the father sky, Uranus, the number 1. Is mankind in better shape now? On the whole, obviously not. Do we have enough people willing and able to respond to the call? The call is a call for empathy, not me. I want to be at the top. I want to own as much as I can. We need empathy with each other, empathy with the divine, and not through technology or Neuralink. My bet is that we are going to spend 20 years cleaning up and integrating the lessons laid out during 2,000 years of the Pisces era, during which we saw the rise of religions that were meant for human beings in infancy. Aquarius, in an air sign, is located on what is called in astrology the fixed cross. The fixed cross imposes lessons through conflict, lessons leading to full integration of a concept or a new way of life. The fixed cross imposes reorientation. Yes, we are going to experience a human mutation. However, this mutation is only possible because of cooperation between human and non-human realities. I repeat, since 1996, beings from higher dimensions have collaborated with humans, seeding Earth and its energy field with the codes of the new DNA. The ruler of Aquarius, now visiting Taurus, is Uranus. He's the patriarch of the zodiacal archetypes. Human beings, having explored the joy of individuation through the self-serving personality of Leo, across from Aquarius, must integrate themselves in the cosmos, starting with the closer bridge, Uranus. They must practice service to the group and to the universal consciousness. And there will be practice because of the incoming transits with Uranus and Saturn. I would like to repeat the last sentence. Uranus is visiting Taurus. He's the grandfather in the zodiac. Human beings have explored themselves with Aries and then with Leo. Now they must integrate themselves in the life of the cosmic body, in the life of the Milky Way. At the Earth level, they must practice service. Well, at the cosmic level too. They must practice service to the collective, the cosmic collective, and to the Earth collective. Aquarian people can be very rebel and eccentric, yet they can demonstrate seriousness. Because of Saturn, they have a strong sense of responsibility. And yes, mankind must also take responsibility. According to Alice Bailey, little more about the fixed cross. According to Alice Bailey, the fixed cross is connected to Sirius, the star system Sirius. Sirius was Earth's spiritual guide until recently. Again, all this is detailed in my last book, Who is Your Creator God? With the participation of the Syrian civilization in charge until recently, humanity learned duality consciousness linked to the personality of the lower ego, Leo, and is now ready to express collective consciousness with the Aquarian frequency. Using their great mental abilities and sense of freedom, they will enjoy the birth of a new era, letting go of the past, of victimhood as imposed by the global fall into chaos. Uranus, ruler of Aquarius, is considered the higher octave of Mercury. Thus, Pluto visiting Aquarius will support collective integration of a higher level of the mind, able to abstract, to handle abstract concepts, and eventually able to handle communication with the divine. And mixed with the empathic Neptune, then we have heart intelligence. Okay, let's add Neptune to the mix, because Neptune will be a big part of the game 2025. Our vision of reality is clouded. As a collective, we must reassess the world as we have created it. Most people are disillusioned about the world, about politics, religion, about their capacity to progress through chaos. Well, we need to open to a higher vision, a higher octave by taking in the cosmic light available, freeing ourselves from the burden of the 3D reality. Neptune also has different meanings. It is associated with the fluidity of the ocean. It can also be the fluidity of the half-light, or the fluidity of the nervous system, sensitive enough to allow extrasensory perceptions, empathy, divine love. It is also believed that the trident that Neptune is holding symbolizes the Trinity, the instrument of manifestation. So it is interesting that the true governing body of the planet doesn't function from the third dimension. So to communicate with the ruling body of the planet, we need to develop the higher aspect of Neptune. Interestingly, what has happened in the last decade when Neptune was in Pisces shows again the misunderstanding of the Neptunian frequency, was of the not so positive response of the spiritual community, and this is my point of view, to Neptune in the Pisces, has been the huge increase of the use of mind-altering substances. Well, I understand drugs can assist to see other things or to release traumas, but human beings should not rely on outer substances to reach the higher aspect of Neptune. Saturn, also in Pisces, is going faster than Neptune. They will be very close in 2025 and in orb with the North Node. This indicates that globally, mankind must focus on and anchor a more spiritual world and system, not more drugs. The old system is falling apart. Institutions and humans individually must rebuild societies differently, according to the compassion, global awareness, and heart energy dictated by the heavy planets and by Neptune, the higher aspects of Neptune being divine love. This is what the astrological transits are asking you to achieve. This also shows that dechurching to just be in politics or in 3D is not enough. The new direction cannot be follow politicians or detach from the divine. Dechurching is only valid if people living the basic religions enter a more adult, responsible, direct communication with the cosmic life via the right frequency and the heart. Amen.